Here's the Unit 1 review. So if you're working on your quiz retake pass, and you're not exactly sure how to answer all the questions, what you can do is just skip through this video and look at the different segments. For example, this one right here, when we do these two problems, the black one will be for problems 1 through 5 in the quiz retake, and this number right here indicates, sorry about the bell, and this number indicates the problems on the test that you missed that correspond to this. So question 1 on the test, problems are going to look like this, and then questions 2, 22, and 23 are going to look like the one in blue. And so you can just skip ahead to each of the ones that you need to look over. But I'm just going to work through all of them one by one. Okay, starting with the first one. Alright, so here we have a question 1 on the test. It's going to look something similar to this. The one in black. It has 3 times n to the 2/3 times 3 times n to the 4/3. And then one of the properties we learned about exponents, I mean the 2/3 and the 4/3, is if we have a common base, we can add the exponents. So I have 3 times 3 times n, and then I'm going to add the exponents together. So 2/3 plus 4/3. It's going to give us 9 times n. To remind you of how you add exponents, 2/3 plus 4/3, you add the tops, that gives you 6, and you do not add the bottoms, 6/3. So 6/3 is just 2 reduced, so it's 9n squared, and that's the answer. Alright, so on problems 2, 22, and 23 on the test are going to look like this. So how we do this is if we have an exponent that's to an exponent, then we just multiply the two together. Namely, I take 1a and times 1/2 by 2/3. And again, if you're not good with fractions, then just use your calculator, because yeah, we don't have time to cover fractions this year. So you multiply the tops together, multiply the bottoms together. That gives us 2/6, which is reduced to 1/3. So this reduces down to a to the 1/3. Great. Moving on to the next one. So if we have problem number 3 on the test is going to look like this, and this time we have division of a common base. So we have b to the 2nd divided by b to the 3rd. So that gives us, the 2/3 can just come out in front. And then I just take the b and I subtract the exponents, namely the 2 will be subtracted by 3. If you're wondering why this is, well, it's kind of like we have 2 b's on the top, b squared over b cubed. And that's going to give us, that will cancel out with that will cancel out with that, 1 over b. Or another way that we could write this is b to the -1. Which, if we look up here, that's exactly what we're going to get. This is equal to 2/3 times b to the -1, because 2 subtract 3 is -1. So this is the reduced down form of it. Alright, so this is problems 4 through 9 on the test, and it corresponds to problems 16 through 45 on the quiz retake pass. So we're supposed to combine like terms. Here it says to simplify it as much as we can. Well, just looking at this, I can't combine this one and this one because Well, they don't have common like terms. It's almost like it's an x and a y. I can't combine the x's and the y's. And this one has a square root 3 and a square root 2. But I wonder if I reduce the square root of 18 down, if that will give me either square root 2 or square root 3. So let's do that first. Let's break up the 18 into 9 and 2, and then break up the 9 into 3 and 3. And then I circle the pair, and whatever I circle will come out of the square root. So let's rewrite this. So we have negative 2 square root 3 minus 3 square root 2 minus, and the 3 comes out, and I multiply it by the 2 times the 3 that came out, times the square root of 2, whatever was left inside. Well, excellent. Now I have like terms, so I can combine them together. So I have negative 2 square root 3, it isn't combined with anything, and then let's just make this as 6. So I have negative 3 square root 2 minus 6 square root 2, and that can be kind of confusing, but just imagine like it's negative 3x and negative 6x, okay? So just in your mind, imagine negative 3x minus 6x. So negative 3x minus 6x would be negative 9x, but instead of x, I'm going to put square root 2. And that's it. It does not simplify down any more than that. Alright, so looking at problems 10 through 11 on the test, this is what they're going to look like. And problems 46 through 55 on your quiz, your retake pass. So this one's asking us to simplify this down as well. We can do that by distributing through the square root 3. Again, this is just kind of like we did last year. We had x times negative 3x plus 4. You just distribute it through. You're doing the exact same kind of idea here. So we have negative 3, and I multiply whatever I have on the inside of the square root together. So 3 times 2 would give me 6, plus 4 times the square root of 3. And that's it. It doesn't simplify down any more than that, because I don't multiply the 3 times the 4 because, well, the 3 is on the inside of the square root and the 4 is not inside the square root. If you want more than that, you'll have to come and chat with me before after school. Alright, looking at problems 12 through 13 on the test, this is what they're going to look like. And this is the same idea, where we do distribution, the FOIL method, or each with each as I call it. So the first one, 4 times negative 3, let's do those ones. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. 4 times square root 5 is plus 4 square root 5, not square root 20. It's the biggest mistake people make. Okay, and then 4 square root 5 times negative 3. So I times the 4 and the 3 together because they're both on the outsides of the square root. So it's going to be a positive, because negative times a negative is a positive, 12 square root 5. And then the last ones times each other. So I can't times the 4 because there's nothing to times it with, but I can times the 5's together. So minus 4 square root of 25. Okay, let's combine our like terms. Negative 12 plus 16 square root 5. I don't add the 5's, it's just like 4x plus 12x is 16x. 4 square root 5 plus 12 square root 5 is 16 square root 5. And the square root of 25 actually reduces to 5. So it's 4 times 5, or it's the same thing as negative 12 plus 16 square root 5 minus 20. And that is the most reduced form that we can get. Great. Move on to the next two, and I think we just have one more after this. Yep. Alright. So this one. So these ones are all relying upon the same this one and then the last problem all do the kind of the same thing. Where if we have something written in the form of square root, and then we have an x on the inside of here, or something on the inside, and then if I have an a here, let's actually put the a here, and let's put the b here. This is the same thing as if I were to write it like this: x to the, and then as the exponent, a over b. And this is, sometimes we'll see it in the form where it has, let's slide this over a little bit. Sometimes we'll see it like we do above, where it is written like this, where we have the b's here, the x's here, we have parentheses around the whole thing, and the a's on the outside. Well, this is the same thing. These are all equivalent. I can change these between these different forms. So let's work on the one above. Okay, so I need to rewrite this in rational exponent notation, which is the last one. So I take the 3m, and since it's all inside the square root, I'm going to put parentheses around it. And then the 3 is in the place of the a, so the 3 goes on top. The 4 is in place of the b, so the 4 goes on the bottom. And that's it. You just need to remember this. Alright, so looking at the last one. Okay, so moving on to the second to last one, problems 17 through 18 on the test, and on the review sheet 81 through 90. This one asks us to simplify this expression. So we have, before we did this by doing factor trees, so 27 breaks up into 9 and 3, and the 9 breaks up into 3 and 3. And since this is a square root, square meaning 2, I'm looking for pairs of 2. And those are the ones I bring out. So I have one pair of 3's and then a single 3. So the 3 will be left inside and one 3 will come out. And this breaks up into r times r times r. This is my factor tree of the r's. And so one r will come out and one r will stay inside. So I'd rewrite this as 3r square root 3r. That's it. Okay, moving on to the last one. Well, I still have time. So this one, I'm supposed to do the opposite of what I did down here. Let's take and copy this over. Copy that. Then come over here and paste it. So I'm doing the opposite. I have it currently in the last form, but I'm supposed to take it and turn it into either of these two. Let's go with the middle one just because. So here we're going to have, well, let's do the last form, or this one. Let's turn to that. So we have the square root, and the 7n comes on the inside, put parentheses around the outside. The 3, the denominator goes there, and the 4 goes there. And that's it. Ta-da! Yep, it's just that simple. Those ones are not trying to trick you at all. They're just checking to see if you understand this basic definition. Moving numbers. Alright, hopefully this helps you get ready for the test retake. Thanks.